By David Dior, and David is a world-renowned singer from Israel. David, shalom and welcome to Ireland.
Shalom, thank you very much.
David, you're here for the anniversary, the Independence Day celebrations. You were singing in Dublin last night. How important was that to you? To first of all, to be recognised as a symbol of Israel.
Well, I don't consider myself as a symbol of Israel, I must say. I'm an artist, a musician, a singer from Israel. I love Israel very much, of course. But to come to Ireland, knowing the not easy situation here between Israel and Ireland. I mean, the political situation is good, but I know that there are many people who are against some things that Israel is doing. And for me, that's exactly the place where I should sing, because I believe in music as the language of the heart. And I believe that it doesn't matter what kind of music you're singing, where you are coming from, because it's behind culture and behind religion. And it shows all the things that we have in common.
Sure.
So, to come from Israel and to sing for people that are, some of them, I'm sure, having different ideas about Israel, and to try to reach their heart and to show them another side of Israel, because usually Israel always is connected to the political situation, to the occupation, but Israel is much more than that, and there are so many beautiful things in Israel, and one of them is art and music.
Sure. Can I put something to you then, David? When I was listening to you sing, I thought a temple is missing a cantor. Was it originally intended that you would do you would be involved in spiritual music, and did what I would call the commercial side evolve from that, or did you always intend it to be what I would call a world entertainer?
I was not intended to be a counter, not at all actually. Only in the few last years I discovered the whole field of counters that sings and the kind of music that they sing. I was raised in Israel listening to pop music, like many average Israelis on the radio, and I knew that I can sing high also. And what happened to me is when the voice is changing, when you're approximately 14 or something, 15, something like that, it didn't change. I mean, only the low bass added, but still I could sing very high. And I went to the Jerusalem Academy of Music, studied classical music, because I was very much interested in learning many kinds of music. And now I know that I can also sing in a synagogue, but it was not meant to be before.
Now, the reason why I asked that is you've got your family, if I'm correct, your grandfather was a rabbi.
Yeah, my grandfather was a rabbi in Libya, actually. They were singing, but it's different. It's not exactly counters, because the Sephardic style is very different. It's I don't know the name in English for that, but we don't call it a counter. I think counter is more.
It's an Ashkenazi.
Yes, it's an Ashkenazi.
Okay, now again, and this is why I never thought I would hear another voice coming out of Israel as good as Ofra Haza. That was the great voice.
Thank you so much. It's an amazing compliment for me.
Yeah, but as I say, when I heard you sing last night, I thought, this is a life. This is a man who has a voice to die for.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, my friend.
The other bit as well, because when I was originally given the brief, I thought, oh no, I don't know how this is a subject. Opera is the subject I know virtually nothing about, and I was dreading it. But when I heard you sing, you could sing anything.
Thank you very much.
You know,
Thank you.
So how do you? One of the things, and I'm a bit wary of this label called world music. I mean, to me, everything is world music. I mean, generally, world music is pigeonholed into what's not American and not British. I mean, how do you feel about that being classified in that genre?
Well, people like to define things always, because I don't know. They want to understand exactly to which field it's belonging. For me, as an Israeli, I was exposed since I was very young to many kinds of music, because people came from the diaspora to Israel. So one neighbor was listening to Bach, and the other neighbor was listening to Arabic singer, and the other neighbor was listening to pop music. So nothing sounds strange to my ear. And I was raised in that atmosphere, that music is many, many, many styles. So for me, it was very natural to collect those styles that I was listening when I was a child, and to bring them into my own, through me, in my own way. And then after, after I recorded the songs, then I was defined as world music. It's not that the definition was before. I think because they don't have a definition for that. And if you ask me, music doesn't need any definition, if you ask me, because music, you can enjoy from many styles. I mean, I can go to a concert in Brazil and enjoy very much, even though I don't understand the word. And then I can go to Japan and enjoy very much, and it's totally different style, because it's a different language, and we should not define it through our mind, through our brain. We should just feel it through our heart.
Yeah. So when you would say, for instance, sing a Hebrew spiritual song to an audience, would you expect that audience to make any adjustment at all, or how do you expect that audience to receive it? Now, I'll come to the reason in just a second as to why I asked that question.
Well, from my experience, when you sing something that you are very much connected to it, the audience can feel that. It doesn't matter what you're singing. If you're singing from the bottom of your heart, if you are connected to this song, people can feel the power. And when I was, for example, I'm performing a lot in the East, in China, in Taiwan, and I'm singing Jewish prayers actually to them. And you can feel the power of the music and even the power of the lyric, even though they don't understand. There is some power in those sayings that are touching much deeper fields inside of us. They're not really, they don't understand exactly what is going on, but all the people actually react very, very similar to those songs. They get excited, they get moved, even though they don't really know what is this song about.
Sure. Yeah, now I'll tell you the reason why I asked that. About 4 or 5 years ago, I went to see Yusu Endur. He had just released an album called Egypt. It was a very spiritual album. And it was in a venue in Dublin that sold alcohol. And they came out about 20 minutes beforehand and said, it is Ramadan, all alcohol. You've got 20 minutes to drink up. And I have never seen that in an Irish bar before, and they did stop. Now, so that's what I'm saying. He insisted that a certain ambience was created for the music.
I don't, for me, I don't have to change anything in the behavior of the audience in order for them to listen to me. If they are not listening to me, I have to make more effort.
Sure.
I have to try more. I respect, of course, this Endur, and I don't know exactly this show and the concept of this concert, so, and I'm not judging it, of course, but when I'm coming to Ireland, for example, I don't want to change the people of Ireland. I don't want to, I just want them to be exposed to my music and to bring them, like a small journey, to bring them to me, to my point of view in a way in this concert, and to try to touch their heart. And this is the real mission, as I see it, to come to people who doesn't know you, who don't know you, who never heard about you before, and still succeeding to touching them. So for me, every concert is like as if I'm beginning from, as if I'm starting, it's the first concert, because nobody knows me.
Yeah. Last night you sang The Fields of Athenry, and you said it could almost be a song I wrote myself.
Yes.
I do know the guy who wrote it. It's a gentleman called Pete St. John.
A very beautiful song.
Tell me, what attracted you to that? Because I think, to me, there's 2 parts to that. The melody, very, very catching.
Yes.
The words I have great difficulty with, and I'll explain why in a second. But so, are you essentially attracted to the melody?
Well, also to the words, I must admit, because not only to the melody. The melody is beautiful, of course, but I think that, people from Ireland and the Jewish people they have a lot in common. Even though sometimes they identify with the other side, we have a lot in common. And when I read those lyrics, I remember my grandfather in the Holocaust, actually. And I remember stealing food, children who stole food just in order to live. And this monster that called how do you say, evil, And this story, in a way, reminds me a story of survivors. People who wants to survive, and they get punished for no reason, and the conflict between a lot of power and the depression. Sorry for my English. I'm trying to
Yeah.
find the
No,
words.
no,
I'm
no.
so sorry. And depression. So I was, as a Jewish, I was identifying with with those lyrics as well, because you know they remind me the stories of my grandfather.
Okay, I'll put it to you. The reason why I raised that is because the people who would largely sing that song in Ireland, and generally to get it to being close to without alcohol, it's difficult. But
Why do you need alcohol for this song?
it's a maudlin song. It's a song that its quality improves the way the sadness improves.
Oh.
And the reason why I have a difficulty with just putting it to you is that the people who would usually sing that song in Ireland, at the drop of a hat or at the bat of an eyelid, they could turn that into a Nakba song. In other words, that's a song against Israel. The fields of Athenry are
But
the
this
plains of.
This you can do with any song, my friend.
Yeah.
You can take any song. You can take even Imagine of John Lennon, you know, and try to it's all about the spirit and how you and how where you aim
Yeah.
the song. This song, as I hear it, has nothing to do with Israel.
Yeah.
Has nothing to do with the political situation in Israel. And as I told you, which is strange because I took it to my own personal pain.
Yeah.
And I identified with those words from the history of my people,
Sure.
and they can take it to their you know whatever.
Yeah.
You can do it with any song,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah. The other bit I have to admit is that my home is near Botany Bay, so I don't have a problem about getting on a boat going to Botany Bay. Quite the opposite, in fact. The other song you sang, and I was saying it to Derek last week when I finished the program. The song I finished with was Avina Michaelu. And it was the Barbara Streisand version of it. And I'd never heard it before. And people came into the studio and they said, "What's that?" And I said, "That's Hebrew." And it's an astonishing song, isn't it?
It's an unbelievable song.
Yeah.
I have a beautiful story about it. Also, me, I didn't know this song before, and I was invited to sing in the United States, and the President Bill Clinton was sitting near me on stage, and I was very much moved and trying to find out which song is fitting this event. And a few minutes before the concert, the producer came to me and told me, David, there is a song I would like you to listen to. And I thought, okay, he's going to bring me, some Frank Sinatra song or whatever. But he put a record, not a CD, a record. And I heard, this record, the sound, and I began to get a goosebumps. And then I heard this amazing voice of Barbara Streisand singing in Hebrew. And I understood something. First of all, I knew exactly what I'm going to sing in this event. And I also understood that sometimes you have to cross half a world just in order to come back home.
Yeah.
Because the power that we have is the inner power, it's from the inside. We don't have to, to go outside in order to get. And since then I'm singing this song in every concert.
Yeah. I'd never heard it before. It's from an album called Higher Ground that she put out. And when I played it, the friends I know who like this type of music said, "Oh, it must be from Yentl." And we thought, it's not. It's not. So how is that? Is it well received in Israel? Because generally Barbara Streisand is known as a showgirl, an entertainer, a movie star, whereas there she was, almost returning to the roots.
For me, first of all, she's a great singer, and her voice touches my heart always. And it's very, very well received in Israel, of course. We're very proud of Barbara Streisand, of course. She's Jewish. And also, this is a very, very old song. And from our Bible, from our prayer. And it's very important. And you see how you can take old chants and give them a new arrangement and make them very much like an update song. And I also recorded Avinu Malkeinu with the Israeli Philharmonic here in this album, actually.